Welcome back to iVision. You're watching A Day in the Life of You, and I'm your host, Nkemji Green. I'm actually sitting right here with the poet, and I'm going to learn a little bit more about her in just a few minutes. But don't forget that the show is all about you. So if you know anybody that wants to be on this show, or if you yourself want to be on this show, give us a call or drop us an email, and you'll be sitting right here with me. But stick around. We got a lot more coming up with A Day in the Life of You.
Looking at me? Premier bagayo di. On Astawi, Jamaican. Nah, I'm a Haitian queen. Born in Little Haiti, right outside South Miami. I'm not a Jaspoa. I love my D and Sospoa. Glio and Bun and Peze. Like my peeps say, I'm a true hey-hey. That's short for Haitian. I have some Bahamian in me, but right now, let me speak for those hating on thee. Perpetrating on me and my nationality, saying there's no way she could be a descendant from IET. She is much too unique. Look at her style, look at her physique. Pa haïtien pa dap jam kite mette trois zo nan zoe li. Yo fè kom si nou sot, paske lang nou dwal. But they forget, I am the unique one, and I spit bullets with rhymes and not with the gun. Y'all wanna run one? Nah, fighting is way overdone. How about we sit down and compare the major battles all nationality has won?
Welcome back, guys. I'm sitting here with the poet. Could you tell me, what does that stand for?
The poet. The poet, the D in the poet is actually my first initial for my name, Dasha. And poet, P-O-E-T, stands for prophesying on everlasting truth.
Okay, so how did you come about getting that name for yourself?
Well, my first, I guess you can say, stage name when I started doing spoken word was Dashiki. Then that changed to D Unique One. And I guess with the content of my poetry, what I was writing spoke more of me as a poet and D poet. And with the prophesying on everlasting truth and reading the word and things like that, the spiritual aspect, that's how I kind of created that name.
Okay.
I go by the poet, and D poet is actually an acronym. D, of course, Dasha, my given name. Poet, P-O-E-T, prophesying on everlasting truth. I started doing spoken word in 2000 when I came here to Tampa for the going to school to the University of South Florida. 2002, I won a Haitian pageant on campus, and I did a poem dance thing, and they told me to go perform at a Haitian celebration in Naples.
So would you say college is a motivator for you starting your poetry, or?
Definitely. College, I encourage. College is really the place where you find yourself, because I realized that being away from my family, being away from the noise of Miami and Tampa is real kind of quiet and serene.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of me time, and I found myself learning about myself and who I was. So, you know, yes, college is definitely that place to kind of birth you, who you really are. Learn to live and die on this planet Earth. See, I deserve to speak out loud that I have been hurt, I've been hit, and even broken with the great big stick. I once was tricked to believe, yeah, this is the way it is, but never again. I'd rather sin against my brethren. Forget going to heaven. I'm in hell and still burning. No, I'm not turning my life over to no serpent. I'm not claiming my salvation isn't working. I'm just saying, I'm tired of all this shit. Whose business is it? Whose duty is it to get the fixing what God's creatures for many years have been mixing? Thank you.
Okay, as a black woman, a black poet, what are some of the obstacles? I know, right? Empowerment, I love that. But what are some of the obstacles that you have to face as a black poet, woman?
Obstacles, I think actually really being heard, because I've been to a lot of poetry lounges, a lot of poetry joints, even as a woman in ministry, you don't find a lot of people that are accepting of a woman that's a minister or preacher, things like that. So to have a woman actually speak up and and try to bring a message to people is difficult for women in general. As a black woman, I don't know if it wholesome as, yes, there is more responsibility, because, you know, if you label yourself or give yourself a title, you have to live up to that title. And I think that's kind of like the not a difficulty, but some of the things that I'm going to have to face, that I have to live up to my name.
Right.
There was a period, and this goes back to my battle, spiritual and conscious. So there was a period of time where it was, I know the year was 2003 clearly, and that's when I cut my hair, and I kind of like, I was kind of like feeding into this stereotype of being a mad poet. I was mad, but then I wasn't mad anymore. You know, I reached a point where I just wasn't mad anymore, and I still was feeding into that stereotype, and I got sick of it. And I wrote poetry. That there was a point that it was a year period I did not write poetry, and this killed me because I'm like, okay, why can't I just put some rhymes on page? And I guess that's when my spiritual self started taking over, and I started reading more of the word and kind of like staying away from certain groups that I was involved in, and kind of like making, I guess, God work in me. And I wrote this piece through this was the only piece I've written, and it's called On Stage. It's been a long time since I've given a fresh rhyme, and I've kept myself confined to certain storylines, but I had to rebel from myself. See, I used to dibble-dabble with words that sounded good once heard, and afterward it was a blur in the brain that only knew me by fame as the unique one. And I believe that this was it for me. See, a couple of words developed into a couple of signature pieces brought beats to complement my speeches. And please don't begin to say that she is deep when it is he that is deeply rooted inside of me.
The signature piece that you performed today, what inspired you to actually write it, and what point in your life did you write it?
Addressing God is the signature piece, and that was I guess the high point of my life, where I was facing, it was kind of like I'm in or I'm out. This one is called Addressing God. Heavy piece. This is the signature piece, and I may forget it some, but I'll fall back. So I've been living in days that weren't promised to me, living my life indigenously, and it is him that I thank for the things that I haven't seen, because the things that I have are now inspiring me, causing me to react when I would rather just sleep in his bed of eternity. Now my life seems endlessly from the constant rage brought up and out of history. I prayed for him to get me out of this misery, and he simply answered, no, I must fulfill my destiny. And I wondered if I could escape this dream that isn't just a dream at all, replace them of dreams of nothingness into which I'd fall. And his response would be, of course, that I hadn't begun at all. Yet it is ailing me. And if I haven't seen half of it yet, then it'll take all of me. Start the killing of me oh so softly. And all he has to say is hardly. He said, this will make me strong. I won't doubt his word because he's God, but God is paining me to go on.
Don't forget, guys, if you do want to be on the show, you can give us a call or drop us an email. You should see the number and the email address on your screen right now. Write it down. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and write it down. And you too can enjoy a day in the life of you and iVision. But